In my opinion, to give a great speech, you need three things. One, you need to have your audience listen to you. Two, you need to have your audience look at you. And three, you need to have your audience understand what it is you're saying. That's all there is to it. Sounds easy, yes?
Yeah.
So what's the problem? The problem is us. Each time we come up to speak, each time we use our eyes, our face, our arms, our legs, our movement, our voice, in a way that stops our audience listening to us, looking at us, and understanding us, we are causing distraction. I'll give you an example. I know in this room tonight, someone is thinking about what they're going to have for supper after the meeting. It's true. And I know also there's another person in this room who has to give a presentation tomorrow. And she's scared. She doesn't know how to do it. And she's thinking about it all the time. And yet there's another person in this room who's daydreaming. How can they be daydreaming on an evening like this? I have no idea. But there is someone who's daydreaming. I'm looking at that person now. So what can we do about it? So I'd like to give you some tips that you can use straight away to help you reduce the distraction that you will cause when you get up to speak in front of your audience, and try and reduce the amount of distraction that you're going to cause. So I'm going to look at a couple of things. I'm going to look at the eyes, then I'm going to look at the use of the hands and the arms, then I'm going to finish by looking at the legs and the movement. The eyes have it. The eyes tell the story. The eyes look. But the eyes cause distraction. Imagine, I start my speech and I'm looking at one person. Nice to meet you. I'm going to talk to you only about my speech. Would you like that? Yes, she says. What about the rest of the audience? How do you feel? You feel left out. You think how rude that speaker is up there, or how unprofessional. Or some of you will start to daydream again. But the point is, I have seen so many speakers who just look at one person and then they get trapped, and then all they do is they look at one person and they forget, and they say, no, I'm not going to look over there because I'm a bit afraid. Our aim is to reduce distraction, gain observance of everyone in the room. So let me show you how I do it. I use my eyes, and I believe I'm like a fisherman. I have a net and I cast my net across the room. My eyes are used to reel you in, and this is how I do it. I start by looking at the back of the room. I hold the gaze of one or two people for between 2 to 3 seconds. Any longer than that, you start to invade somebody's personal space. Then I pan across, in my case, to the right-hand side of the room. And again, I look at as many people as I possibly can. Then I come to the center of the room, and then back to the right, and then back to the front, and then finishing at the front over here. And then I do the opposite, all the way through the speech. And that way, you will find those people who are listening to you, because you can see they're listening to you. You'll see those people who are looking at you, because it's interesting when you start looking in a certain direction, those people who are looking down start, it's almost like there's a magnet that just drags their head up. Oh my gosh, someone's looking at me. And you also check through looking at somebody's eyes whether they are understanding what you're saying. Because you're looking like this, glassy eyes. They're not with you, are they? Very powerful, and you can do that straight away tonight. Those of you who are coming up to speak, try it. Start at the back, go across, hold a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, then move across. And you can go the other way, you can do a variety, you can go to the back and forwards, it really doesn't matter, but try it. Okay? So that's using the eyes. Now what about the arms and the hands? Now I know different cultures use their hands in different ways when they're speaking, and that's okay, I don't mind that at all. However, when you're in front of an audience, you're trying to reduce distractions so that people are listening to you, so that people are understanding you, so that people can hear you. The best idea is to try and keep your arms relaxed, just down by your sides. When you first try to do this, you'll start to feel extremely uncomfortable because we are not used to just leaving the arms down by our sides. We start doing this, or we start doing this, or we start to fidget and our hands go all over the place. We betray our nerves by what we do with our hands. We also cause a distraction. Example, I remember one speaker, for some reason, every time he said anything, his arms just used to go up and down like this. And I was thinking, is there a relationship between what you're saying and they were just going up and down like this? And after a few seconds, I found myself thinking, put your arms down. Put your arms down. Put your arms down now. And guess what I was not doing? I wasn't listening to his speech. He must have I think he gave a good speech because he got a round of applause, but I didn't hear it. All I heard was, put their arms down. Or you have other people. How tightly can I keep my hands? I'm not nervous. They're just going red. Oh my goodness, I'm going to hold them even. Keep the hands apart. Similarly, this might look a bit cool to some people. to me, that is just a sure sign that you are extremely nervous, or the this type of thing. And you see people do this. They do it all the time, and they're not realizing that it might be an unconscious thing, but they're not realizing that they've lost their audience, because their audience is thinking, "Silly man, take the hands out of your pocket. Come on, get your hand out of your pocket. Do something interesting, but get your hands out of your pocket." Very simple. So, what I'd like you to do, when you're standing up, just take your arms and put them down by the side. If you are going to use your arms, try to get the arms and the words you say to be in congruence. Get them to match. For example, if you are demonstrating that you're a policeman or woman and you want to say, "Stop!" you can see the gesture of the hand coming out with the words, they're matching. Or if you want to say, "You know, that went over my head," again, the arm and the voice are matching. But if you're just going like this, helicopters start thinking, no, just relax. You'll feel so much better and easy for yourself. Lastly, legs, the legs habit. I used to do an awful lot of tap dancing when I came up here, when I was a novice speaker, because I couldn't stop myself moving because I was very nervous and the legs were shaking all over the place. What I would recommend you all do, no matter how nervous you are, is try and find a place where you are equidistant, about hip width apart, not too wide, not too short, and try and get the balance between the ball of the feet and the heels, and find a nice comfortable place and stay there. If you do, you'll find that you're more relaxed, and guess who else is relaxed? The audience is relaxed. You're not distracting them with your movement. What do they have? They have to pay attention to what? What you're saying, because you are not moving. Right? It's very true, it's simple to do. I've seen some speakers really worry me by standing like this. And I'm thinking, you're going to fall over, you're going to topple over. Or you see people like this. Oh, come on. Just find a nice balanced place and you'll find you will be more comfortable speaking. Now, if you are going to move, again, the same applies. The hands and the speaking applies to the feet. Move with purpose. If you want to walk towards somebody and because you want to explain something to them, fine. But don't just wander all over the place just because you feel like it. Because again, people are saying, moving around like this, backwards and forwards, stay still. So to sum up, I believe to give a great speech, 3 things are required. 1, you need your audience to listen to you. You need your audience to understand what you're saying, and you need them to look at you. The way you do that is to reduce the amount of distractions that you yourself are causing when you are standing in front of the audience. Look at the eyes. Use your eyes to reel people in and look at them and see who's not looking at you. And little by little, they will start to look at you, especially if you look at them long enough. Use your arms effectively. Don't just take them up and down like you're juggling the tennis balls. Use them effectively. Try to get the voice and what you're doing with your hands to match. Not easy. I don't always get it right. Sometimes my hands go like, why am I keeping my hands? Try just keep them relaxed. And similarly, take a stance. Find a place that's comfortable, not too far from the audience. Certainly don't stand too far back here, you're too far away. Find a place that's neutral. That way you will reduce the amount of distractions and you will give a great speech.